Good evening, everybody. Just double check how I sound. I probably don't need this tab anymore. Okay. Doing something a bit different today. Let's quickly make myself a little list here. Mouse look, and sprite collisions, sprite sizing. Noise tolerance. I don't know, if I get through all of those today, I'd be pretty happy. Okay. So I've been working on this thing, little first-person shooter in the old Doom style. And just, oh yes, that reminds me. I wonder if I need to like mess with the dimensions of that slightly, because the actual image is a bit narrower and that feels off. So no, that's wrong. A lot of this is very much trial and error, so you end up just fiddling with brackets and things, getting this stuff working. I kind of want to just do that and see what happens. I mean, that does look better. Although not entirely how I'd expect it to look either. So, here's sprite height. Check my reference code. H over 2. Just checking I didn't miss any like errant halves or something, because that's bound to happen. Seems okay though. Hmm. I'm actually quite happy with how it generally looks. I'm just sort of seeing if I need to do anything to make it look a bit squarer. Right. Like that. Chances are this errors out. That's fine. I expected that. That's a little strange. What's it doing? So it's... this one is meant to be our scale factor based on where we are between let me just do that for the moment. That's still broken. Quite annoying. I wonder if it's meant to be the way around. No. Just see how far off I am. $28. Oof. I don't really enjoy this sort of thing, but it is what it is. It's worth it when it works. I don't really care about the float inaccuracy so much. I mean, maybe you do, just to get it right. Okay, that's a start, but it's a bit broken, so. Oh. Minus that, minus that. That's too big. So now it's negative. Why is it negative? 47. We'll just absit for now. See what we're working with. Not a fan of this style of doing things. It's not very helpful. H minus that plus the why isn't it like that to start with? Obviously that's wrong, but because you actually subtract it because you do the same thing up above. It's just one off. I guess I want to know what happens if y is equal to 0. Right, I need to subtract 1 from this thing. For some reason it's off shifted 1. Or I thought it did. Let's just go here and mid. Yeah. No, I'm bored of this one. I'll use my cruder version for now. Well, that's not working. What? Oh, it's gotta change the... Yeah. There we go. It's not perfect, but captures the image pretty well. Just double check. One, two. Yeah. I'd say we're pretty good with that. And they occlude properly. And down here. Nice. For now. Yeah, good enough. Okay. So next, there's my little adjustments. So then that one's on my mind, so we'll do that next. If, well, 4 Next is sprites, I guess. If sprites minus position dot length is less than 1, then select is true. Gotta remember their positions. Good, because now I can't get near it. And I suppose that's really a thing to decide on a per object basis. Because you might say, like, you could do all sorts of things to get around it, because that's not fun. But it'll do for now. Collision. Let's do the sprite sizing thing, that's fun. So according to this, we need 3 extra variables for sprites. Because we need to be able to calculate new div and vdiv. So they mess with the sprite height with vdiv. Vmove screen. That's an int, so we need to floor it. The draw start y and that, and then this one. The udiv. That looks like it. So this should change nothing. And then I want to make them both bigger. Oh, I guess that makes them smaller. Well, they do now seem to be floating, which is not what I intended for that. Stop it. Oh, I've done this wrong. Have I? H over transform Y. Divided by the VDiv, maybe. No, that actually seems to be the intention. It should be massive. That's a bug. See that? So the problem here that we're seeing with that is that we're y is equal to y minus height h over 2 by text height divided by sprite height. Assuming that I follow the example of the one above, this will look ridiculous, I imagine. Or it'll just work perfectly first time. Sure. So there's a slight bug on that last strip on the left-hand side there. See if we can get that straightened out. Start X. Let's see how that goes. So there it is, it's just not doing it. Why would it do that? I suppose it could be related to that being a bit weird. It is not. Hmm. Is that a bug in the piece algorithm? Rather than the... I mean, it wouldn't be, because otherwise it would cause other problems. Oh. That's the piece. Okay. I missed a sign there. That should now do it. There we go. See, on the far side. Very good. offset, morph sprite resizing, and display fixes. So this would have udiv 1, vdiv 1, vmove 0. Because that assumes that. And then solid false. And then solid true for now. I guess we could really go class is sprite, yes. Super like this. And then solid to be true. Like that. Like that. Just making that into a solid data object. And then we can go udiv sprite.vdiv sprite.vmove solid entity dot solid. And then we actually have to use this pillar like that. And grab the image data for that one. Like that. So that looks like the normal size. Ooh, that was fun. Let's take those out of there. Oh. We got too close to that one. But that shouldn't bug out anyway, so what died? I guess if you get too close, it probably just becomes infinite. Or something. Good. Looks like it did. It was just oh, interesting. Small bugs, come on. Interesting. That's very strange. Hi there. Good evening. Aha. Good to see you, James. How are you doing this evening? Yeah, I'm doing okay. Running into a couple bugs here and there, but not too bad overall. Wrapping my head around a problem. And this is why we test stuff, because otherwise you make dumb mistakes and things, and you don't get mistakes. But yeah, doing it right. I'm just trying to find out why this is crashing on me, because that is not very cooperative. And also, it shouldn't be possible, so I'm not really sure what's going on. I'll look at that again. So basically, the problem is I've got these two pillars. And let me kill the printout for a moment. Okay. So yeah, I've got these two pillars. Very nice, very good. They stand, they sit, they whatever. And I turn my back on them. And they crash like that, see? So something's up with the calculations for rendering it back on screen again. There. Is it both or just one? one. I mean, it probably is both, but yeah. And this sort of thing is not what this game engine is built to do, so I'm sort of winging it a bit, and it's a lot of maths that is hurting my brain that I don't completely understand, although I get the basic idea. So it's a bit hack a bit, guess a bit, back and forth, trying to get this thing to work. But I will get there. I wanted to know if it was both. Yes, it is both. So it's the overall rendering algorithm rather than anything else. Fine. So system.print. Let's just have a look at what coordinates I'm trying to draw exactly. So this is in preparation for a game jam that is happening next week called the 7-Day FPS Jam, which is open to anybody and everybody, and you don't technically have to make a first-person shooter either. It's very casual in that sense, but I thought that it would be fun to put together a little example code thing so that anyone could make a first-person experience using my engine if they wanted to. But I'm doing this in advance because it starts next week. So, bam. So you see there, I'm trying to draw too far over on textures that are 8x8. Which means that should be no more than 7 because they're 0 indexed. So I'm 2 over and I have no idea why. Let's just do a quick double check. To be honest, it could be those that are the problem. Because those I think are meant to actually be integer. Nope. Very annoying. This the rendering is based on a C code example, which I have up over here. And because the language I'm working in does not actually have integer types, I do have to do occasional conversions and extra flaws and things. But hopefully it'll be fine. I don't want to add the extra checks, but I guess you could say that if the texture is off the screen, then it shouldn't be trying to draw it. But that is really indicative of a bug with the calculation more than anything else. So maybe it's meant to be like that. No, that just dies straight away. So clearly that's not the issue. Well, actually, I mean, we can do that, and then it'll crash a little bit later, I guess. Or not. But then it'll crash there, so... It's very frustrating though, because it's, yeah, closer. Because it should just work. There's no reason why it shouldn't just behave. I mean, there's always the chance that the example is wrong. I mean, I'm not doing it exactly perfect either, so that's not helping. But there's that, though, which probably does need to get fixed again. What you can't hear, I think, is the message box alert noise when it fails, because you get the like da-da type noise. So it always sounds like doubly bad when I make a mistake. But it's fine. Logically, that's what I want here, because I'm doing this calculation so that we don't overstep our bounds. So that should be okay. I guess that this bit here could be off. No, it's fine. I didn't implement this myself, so anything wrong with this is not my fault. No problem. Yeah, it's still the same. What's going on without that? Because this wasn't happening earlier, so... just a bug with that 0 line? Because if so, that'd be really annoying. Oh god, it is. What? Okay. So if that's 0, that's positive. It's annoying though, because yeah, so if stripe is for whatever reason 0 here, then whatever that ends up being becomes a positive value that is the maximum possible value that these can be, I guess. Which isn't great. Anyway. It's not urgent if it's... Basically, I don't like it because it leaves this line here that doesn't get rendered, even though it looks like it should, and it's really odd. But if I don't fix that right now, it's not the worst thing. It's not fun to look at. I'm definitely not on stream, so I might leave that be for now. Well, that's the thing, is that I've been looking at this enough that I am spotting little visual things like that. It's like stripe should be allowed to be 0. For some reason, they've decided that's not the case, but... well, I mean, it could be to do with that being like that here, so maybe that sort of fixes it. No, that just causes bugs, that's fine then. Yeah, I had to make little changes to the algorithm as it's posted, which leads to weirdness when you do other things. Right, let me just restore a couple things. That's what I sort of expect it to look like. It's just missing that slice on the end. I might put like a little black border or something maybe, just to hide it. But... Or we can cheat. We could cheat. Well, can we cheat? We can't really cheat. Hey, Andrea makes games. Hello. Have a yeah, good evening to you. How are you doing today? Ah, well, thank you for stopping by. Don't mind me, I'm mostly messing around with maths I don't understand. Yeah, there's some great learning resources for this. I don't have an easy way of posting it in the chat. I can post it in later on, but actually, I mean, I think I posted it in the Discord as well, so you can probably find it in there. But if not, I can post it again. It's that's true. A lot of game dev is messing around with maths you don't understand. I actually get away with understanding a lot of what I end up doing because it is mostly two-dimensional stuff. So it ends up being pretty simple, but 3D projections and stuff do hurt your brain after a while. But this is what we have at the moment. generally. So we've got this nice room with horrific textures. And the textures that the floor and ceiling are optional texturing. You don't have to do that. You can just fill them and it sort of works. But I wanted it to be fancy. This I think I can walk straight into at the moment, but I can fix that very quickly. Solid, I just have this disabled for testing purposes. But sprites can be solid like that, so I can't actually get close to it. I press them forwards and that doesn't work. And then there are doors that will open if you tell them to open, and then if you step away, they close again. The 7D in 70 FPS means 7 days. You get 7 days to make a FPS. It's for a jam that I'm doing, or hoping to do, next week. So the idea is that I will hopefully finish up this code base and publish it, and anyone can take it and use it to make something. And I'm going to try and tidy it up a bit so that it's clear how to add things without having to mess with the maths so much. I do this a lot. There is a repository for Dome examples that are like micro engine examples like this, which anyone can take and make something with, just so that there are examples of how to use it. Now, it doesn't have the best frame rate in the world, but it works, and you could feasibly play a game with this. It doesn't have to be like a first-person shooter. You could do like a first-person plant-growing simulation thing with indoors, because you can only do indoor environments. Who knows? You could just have an art gallery in here, I guess, or something. Like it, yeah. But the jam is called 7-day FPS, but the rules are really, really loose. You can do basically anything you want. So it is causing my computer to spin up a little bit. But no worries. Kitty horror shows. I don't know what that is, but anyway. Right. So sprite sizing works now. I can do mouse look. That might be interesting. At the moment I'm using the arrow keys and WASD to move around, but that's not ideal for everybody. You might want to actually use the mouse. So let's go in here. Welcome back. Yeah, so I hope to tidy up this code and make it clear where the inputs and outputs for things are, and hide away the drawing engine so that you can basically just say, here are entities, here are what they do, put them in the world, make them move, and not have to worry about the graphical bit too much. That might work well. You might still have to dig into some stuff. I can't promise it. But we'll see. I want to go in it. And stop relative is true. Like that. Yeah, the frame rate for this thing is not huge, but because of the way that Dome is written, it actually still runs really smoothly at the cost of your CPU running fan stuff probably quite hot. But it's better than the alternative, so. I mean, I'm crowbarring a 2D engine to run a 3D game, so you get what you get, you know. It's to prove that it can. The alternative, I guess, would be to use something that, well, actually no, there's two different ways you could approach this. you could either move the entire rendering engine into the C code, but that's going to require a lot of engine hacking, and Dome isn't built for that right now. Or you use a different engine entirely, I guess. There's probably a few optimizations that we can make to this as well, mathematically, just to save on the load. But there's not a ton else that we can do with the current architecture. I mean, that, at least as far as I know, I'm sure that someone could look at it and be like, oh, if we move these things around, then it'll be fine. But I don't have the time to make that doable, unfortunately. Yeah. I made Dome to make 2D sprite games. This is a heavy abuse of what it can do. I mean, I'm really happy that it works, don't get me wrong. It's just, this is the upper limit of what I would expect it to be able to do. And I can tell that it's pushing it because it runs officially at about 15 frames a second, which is not much. What do I want to do here? Line. And it would be canvas dot. At least it looks better than Faceball 2K. It did run on the Game Boy. So, an interesting thing is that you will get better performance if you reduce the canvas resolution for this. Because every pixel in the display has to be rendered individually, the less pixels you have, the faster it renders. So we could do a quick test on that actually. Center X is 8. Yeah, we'll go with 8 for now. Center Y, center X plus 8. I'm just drawing a crosshairs real quick and then we'll go over there. Color dot dark gray. Oh, that'll be like invisible. I suppose there's no way of picking a good color for this. True. I mean, Ren probably has some limits to what it can calculate. I mean, it can do the calculation, it's just not the fastest way of doing it. That's a plus. That's really the problem, is just it's not the fast way. Oh, interesting. We can do that. I've got a green, I think. How's that look? Hey, good choice. Right. Does like to eat my mouse though. So I need to implement a couple of things. So it's not that it's treating each individual pixel as a tile, it's that it's treating the whole display as a camera, and then for every viewable pixel it raycasts, well, technically it sweeps left to right, and it basically says what's in front of me, and then renders the height based on that. That's for the walls and the floor, at least. The sprites have to be done in scanline form. But it's basically a, if you imagine your standard 2D tile map game, it's that system. It's just rendering it from a different viewpoint. So you could semi-easily build a 2D representation of the same thing from the top down, which you could use for a mini-map, honestly. So that's the tile map. Yeah. The walls are basically drawn from the center line up and down. And then the further away the wall is, the smaller the line is. So you get that symmetry on the horizon. And you can actually see, if I load it back up, and we look over here, you can see that every... I'm pointing at my screen as if you can see that. Every block is symmetrical, or at least the height is symmetrical. The textures aren't. But everything sits on that central line the whole way around. Yes, it's similar to how Doom worked. It's much closer to how Wolfenstein worked. There are some differences. From what I understand, Doom had some much fancier physics and rendering going on than I'm bothering with. Keyboard. True. At least I assume that's true. I actually haven't played either of them. I've just seen video and heard about them, unfortunately. Cool. I will trust your judgment. X is less than 0, then angle is equal to angle minus 1. That's mouse control. I'm not using the keyboard for this. This is just me sweeping left and right on the touchpad. There we are. Obviously, you'd want to do it so that it's a bit more flexible on how fast you're trying to move things. So let's do that. Got min of actually, I mean, I can optimize this by saying if this is not 0, then we can basically go -5 mouse to X 5. I do need to change the orientation of that though. Like that. Yeah, I'm gonna probably cap that again. But then you can just do mouse control and WASD keys. And then I can strafe. Let me just change that speed up again. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it probably isn't actually any better. It's because of the way that the game loop is structured that Dome can kind of cope with this still. So it's not so much that the frame rate has improved, it's that Dome skips over rendering certain bits of it. Ah, that's true as well. Is different from feels. Well, that was a bit shaky there. But there we are. That feels quite difficult to control still, though. I don't want to get too much into twiddling numbers here, but I mean, you could always tune this for the kind of game that you're playing as well. That's true. A lot of game design is just behavioral design and psychological trickery. So that's true. Oh, there's a good chance I won't be streaming in an hour's time, but I'm glad that you managed to come by. It's been good having you. Hopefully you'll catch me again. I will be streaming again on Wednesday. But otherwise, I'm always available on Discord when I'm awake. So, yeah. Have a good evening. Yeah, see you later. Nice. I'm going to just drop the thickness on that line. I don't think it needs to be that chunky. That mouse behavior is such a bug. That's mouse look. Very nice. All right. Streaming through these. I think the next one is probably getting image data textures for things. So let's go make some walls. I don't really know what environment this should be, so it's kind of hard to make interesting walls happen. But what's nice, at least, is that you can, in theory, use any resolution of texture you like, and it will interpolate. So that's sufficient for a wall. And then the second one is like that. And then the next one is let's do the green first. Green, red, red. Save that. And then 4 would be something else. Blue, maybe? Oh, blue. The B is dark purple, I see. I guess. Like that. And then this one is a door. So then we just need to load the first 4 like that. And then this one can be door. Ah, but I actually numbered these differently, so let's redo that. And this one. Otherwise, we want to do it with this one. Right, why is that negative? What? That's very hot code, so I don't want to mess with that too much. But yeah, we might have been overflowing a buffer somewhere. Apart from a couple of visual glitches, that looks okay. It does run a little bit slower doing it like that, but yeah, you can tell. Geez, okay. So rend textures are better. Significantly better. That's fine though, because you can preload it. So let's go to texture. And then for y in 0 dot image dot width. No, that's height actually. Dot width. Basically, I'm just going to manually load these into the REN memory so that it's not going to have to round trip through the C code to grab stuff. And we'll probably actually implement this for all of the data collection so that even the sprites can be faster. Texture -1. XY. Like that. Static import image path. Like that. Texture equals like that. Return texture. Because then I can basically go import image wall %i.png. Get rid of all that. And then this can be 5, 4, 5. And this is the door. And that's the path. And that is significantly better. Okay. Texture. Like that. No. That. That. Okay. These are unnecessary. This bit is like that. What I'm doing at the moment is sort of just separating out things that I can pull into a level data structure or like a world data structure, and what I can keep as core engine code. Because not everything here has to be like that. So let's do a thing. So if I wanted to make that 100, I do that. So you can get a significant boost in performance just by shrinking the speed down, shrinking the canvas down. Which is pretty nice, I suppose. And mouse look works, and you can use arrow keys instead if you prefer. Onto these doors, they open, and I like how smooth they are. They just sort of do that. And then they close when you get away from them. And you can't get too close to those, but let's say that it's like that for now. Yeah, that's more natural. Compare that to this frame rate, which is a quarter of that. So, I mean, that makes sense because well, a third? Yeah, more like a third, but it's a good thing to know. And then we can use the same sort of data mechanism to open doors as we could to interact with things if you wanted. So that's pretty nice. And that changes the size of that crosshair a bit. Adding crosshairs, image textures, and changed collisions. Like that. So that's that one. Sorry, I'm in the tank thinking a bit. Just about how to separate this stuff out. In the future. What I can do though, well, at some point I need to update this stuff. This uses an older version of the keys library that I have, but since then Dome has changed how keys are handled to make that better. So I got a different version of that library to work with. Although, if I'm honest, we're barely using it, so I might rip it out entirely. In the future. And then you got the collision detection stuff. And then these are doors. There's no strict ordering for most of these things. I guess you could put this one. Well, you should decide if you've moved successfully before you process that bit of input, I reckon. Doors and other things are, well, custom drawing stuff might need special hooks and that could get quite sticky. So I have to think about that. Those bits come out of there because they're in the wrong place. We had the solution, it was just in the wrong place. The problem's not in the box, it's in the band. So we don't need those now. Seems fine. The floors are all behaving correctly, so I'm pretty happy with that stuff. Efficiency-wise. Yes, that's wall rendering, is this bit. And custom door hooks. This will have to change. I have to change how the map data structure works, I think. It'll be similar, I think, to how it works before. This is our fallback, just in case. I don't know if we actually have magenta. We don't. But it's fine. We can do pink. Take that out because it doesn't work here. So then after we do that, we have to sort the sprites into distance order. And those can be tuned per sprite. We just offset it very slightly and see what happens. No, that doesn't work. How bizarre. Let me have a look at the thing about that for a moment. Oh, I found an extra thing missing. that does make it look a bit like it's floating, doesn't it? So that looks better, but not perfect. Remove. It messes with the draw start and draw end. Okay. Still looks like it's floating. No. That does look better. Let's return it to normal. Yeah. It's not the same. Yeah, that doesn't apply here. So I'm not sure what to do about that right now, but it's not that important because you can basically just manually tune them. Like that. Where do we get to? I think I'll do that another time because I have to do calculations to figure out where you are. So I think that was pretty good. I mean, we got 4 sets of things sort of working over this last hour or two. So yeah, I think I'm done for the evening. Thank you everybody who stopped by. Catch me again on Wednesday. We'll be cleaning up the code base, trying to make it a bit more production ready. So yeah, have a good one.